What's up, everybody? We are live. Welcome to Underground Crypto Deep Dive Research Show. That's really what we're doing here. Today, we're going to be going over Avalanche and, of course, all of its ecosystem. Well, maybe not all of its ecosystem, but we're going to try to do what is most relevant. Normally, these shows are 8:30 Monday through Friday, New York time, 8:30 p.m. that is. But today, I have some things to do in the afternoon, so can't miss the stream. Let's just do it right now, right? Why put it off or not do it? So let me make it so you can see what I'm looking at. And we can do our usual kind of top-down analysis here. So first we're going to look at Bitcoin. 108,000. Pull back from yesterday, right? Let's pull up that little chart they have on CoinGecko. Take a little look at it. Let's look at, like, say, the monthly. Interesting. Definitely a pullback. How long is it going to last? Will we recover? No idea. Ethereum, 4,314. Love to see that Ethereum still above 4,000. XRP, $2.81, getting a little bit farther away from that $3 mark where I like to see it. Solana still holding above 200. I like to see that. Even though we're pulling back, we got to kind of find the silver lining, right? Dogecoin, 21 cents. And where is Hyperlink? At $43.85. So that's kind of what's going on. We won't spend a lot of time on that. What we really want to look at is what is trending. Pyth Network, trending today. Why is Pyth trending? I have no idea. In the last 7 days, though, it's up 56.9%. Then we have this mitosis. I don't know. I don't know how I'm supposed to say that. I'm going to be honest. I probably butchered that. But let's take a look at it. So Binance Smart Chain. Let's look at the website. Thought for sure it was going to be with like Osmosis or something like that, but it's Binance Smart Chain. The network for programmable liquidity. Yes, we are just giving a minute for people to hop in. We are looking at what is trending for the day. Got to keep a pulse on what's going on, even when the market is pulling back and everybody is scared, licking their wounds from those high leverage, plays that they had going. The network for programmable liquidity, leading the next generation of DeFi through tokenization of liquidity positions while ensuring seamless integration into mitosis ecosystem. Mitosis. That's what I'm gonna call it. Sometimes you just got to pick something and go with it, right? Liquidity stack, reimagine. Supplying liquidity is fundamental to DeFi, of course, determining a protocol's fate from the start. Yet, the pursuit of early-stage liquidity often involves undisclosed contracts, fueling information asymmetry to eroding DeFi's core ethos. So, decentralization, right? They're getting centralized by taking, undisclosed contracts. Basically, they're subjugated to somebody, whether you know it or not. So, mitosis restores balance to fracture liquidity stacks. So this is very much a liquidity play. It's on the Binance Smart Chain, which is really interesting. Let's see, sourced and sold. I like the time for the stream. Yeah, well, we're doing it today because we have some other things to do, and so maybe it'll be the best stream because we did it early, or maybe it'll be terrible. Who knows? Either way, we're deep diving, researching together. So Matrix. Access to preferable DeFi yield. So this is liquidity, this is yields. Let's not spend a ton of time on it. We're just going over what's trending before we get to the actual Avalanche ecosystem. Bitcoin trending, all right, we don't need to go over that. Hyperliquid, we did just a few days ago a deep dive on Hyperliquid and its ecosystem. Chronos, we've gone over a lot. Pudgy Penguins, got a pre-recorded video. Ethereum, of course. Yeah, and it just looks like a lot of the big boys, Ondo, XRP, Caspa, Solana. That's what's trending. Top gainers, top losers is a lot of times where we find some of the more interesting projects. Because some meme coin gets a 200% pump on the day, On a day like today, though, maybe not. Okay. Uchain. We went over Uchain yesterday. Uchain was really interesting. Uchain was one that I was looking at because it was only at 100,000 max supply. I swear yesterday this thing was only at like $300. Am I wrong? 29th. Yeah, this thing banged. This thing was only around $300 yesterday when we were looking at it. Its max chart says about 5,000%. One thing I'm starting to really look at is this max supply when coins are this small. Sometimes they're a pretty good gamble because you don't need a lot of money to move price. But they might be hard to get out of. And so what else is top gainer? Pepe coin, 50% today. Not too bad. That coin we just went over, Miotis. I don't know how I'm supposed to say that, and it's really bothering me that I don't know how to say that. We have Layer 3, Paycoin, Graphite Protocol, Meme Core, Donkey, which has been back and forth between top gainers and losers, Mythos or Myth. Let's check that out. Is that a meme coin? Nope, it's GameFi. It is on the Ethereum blockchain, the Base blockchain, and the Avalanche blockchain. Look at that. Winner, winner. That's what we're going to be going over today. So we might as well go take a look at their website. How much money did they have in the project? 78 million. That doesn't seem too small. Let's go back. So 2022 is when CoinGecko started tracking it. Monday. 1 million. 1 month. What am I talking about? I'm getting so distracted here. All right, let's go to their website. The future of Web3 gaming. So ensure true ownership of game assets and secure transactions with Mythos token on the Polkadot network. Okay, so this is Polkadot network. It's really weird because it says Polkadot network, but when I go look at the chains associated with it, I did not see Polkadot. So that's very interesting. It's got Base, Avalanche, and Ethereum. So what is this reference to Polkadot? So the Mythos Foundation, along with Mythos Blockchain Ecosystem DAO, the Mythos ecosystem, and DAO, collectively Mythos, so when you refer to Mythos, you mean both of them, have been established to simplify standards of democratizing Web3 gaming. Interesting. I don't really get how this is Polkadot, though. Utility token for GameFi and SocialFi, Mythos DAO governance, Mythos chain. Myth token. Myth is interoperable native utility token used in these decentralized efforts to provide opportunity to anyone to participate, for anybody to participate and contribute with the ecosystem, adding governance and value to game developers, publishers, and content creators. I don't know why they can't just make the writing like a bright white on a black background. They use like gray. I can barely read that. It's like when I'm doing my thumbnails. Like I try to make it bright on a dark background, black background, or vice versa. You know what I mean? Make it pop a little bit. Make this stuff easy to read, guys. If you want people to come to your websites and actually read them, at least don't make it so dreary looking, right? All right, so that's what Mythos is. We won't spend too much time on this. Let's look at our top losers of the day. We have Fartful. Okay, it's down 80% with a name like that. I feel like it probably should be down 80%. We have Worthless Coin, which is an interesting coin. Is this the same one, though? Let me check this out. So you got Worthless Coin. There were some people speculating it was going to do really well because it's tied to another app that makes it really easy. So this is not the same coin, unless they updated their website. So Worthless is not an investment. It's not a project. It's not a promise. It's a public joke, an experiment about the illusion of value. Is this like a rebrand their website or something, or is this a totally different token? I'm thinking this is a totally different token, but it had the same idea, same ethos there, right? So that's interesting. I have to look into that. BC Game Coin fell 15%. Troll, and it's not surprising to see these things, down. Crows had a really good last couple of days, if not a week, so it's not surprising to see it down. Anyways, without any further delay, let's hop right into Avalanche. So right off the bat, of course, we are going to have some stable coins in the top market cap. This is in the list of the Avalanche ecosystem by market cap. And let's go down to, of course, Avalanche. So before we get too far into Avalanche, there is a few things that I'd like to read about Avalanche, right? Of course, it's coming from ChatGPT, so there's a disclaimer there. None of this is financial advice anyways. But there's just some facts that we definitely want to go over. If you want to know about Avalanche's ecosystem, you should probably know what Avalanche is, right? And how it works. So Avalanche is an open source decentralized layer 1 blockchain. You probably could have guessed most of that. Launched in September 2020 by AVAX. That's an important piece of information. It is uniquely addressed to the blockchain trilemma, balancing scalability, security, decentralization. Every blockchain is trying to get that, proportions right, using a specialized proof of stake consensus mechanism known as Snowman. So did you know that the consensus mechanism of Avalanche is called Snowman? Its architecture comprised of 3 interoperable chains. You have an X chain, a C chain, and a P chain. The X chain is for asset transfers. C chain is for smart contracts and Ethereum compatibility, and the P chain is a network, metadata, and validator coordination. So by separating the day-to-day functions on a blockchain are being separated out into 3 different chains instead of it being on one chain, so that you have less congestion. So how subnets transform scalability and cross-chain communication. Avalanche subnets are customizable validator groups that juggle consensus for one or more blockchain independently of the primary network, kind of like what we just talked about. They enhance scalability by isolating transactions, increasing throughput, and reducing bottleneck, is basically what I was trying to say. This modular approach allows developers to launch application-specific or enterprise-level blockchains with sovereign security and tailored performance, all while leveraging Avalanche's validator infrastructure. So the top 3 DeFi projects building on Avalanche now are Trader Joe, Pangolin Exchange, YieldYak, Portals.fi, and Token Farm, and Pure Alchemy dApp Store. Okay, so let's see a little bit more about those. It says Avalanche powers a thriving DeFi ecosystem. As of 2025, it hosts 34 DeFi projects compared to Ethereum's 153. Some standout platforms include the ones we just talked about. So Trader Joe and Pangolin Exchange and GMX are leading decentralized exchanges, backbones of ecosystems, decentralized exchanges built for fast, low-cost trading and yield generation. Then you have YieldYak, Portals.fi, and Token Farm, which are reputable yield farming aggregators and farm-as-a-service tool in Avalanche ecosystem. Then we have this Pure Alchemy dApp Store. Avalanche currently supports 38 DeFi dApps spanning token swap, lending, staking, and tooling. Tooling is more for developers than anything else. If you're in here, go ahead and throw a comment in. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. We are a little bit off our normal timing today. Tokenomics and network fundamentals are driving AVAX adoption. So AVAX plays several roles, critical roles. I just want to read what I want to say and not what it says. It's used to pay network fees. Okay, so yeah, AVAX is used to pay network fees, secure the platform through staking, and deploy custom subnets. Validators need to stake a minimum of 2,000 AVAX, making it more accessible than Ethereum's validators requirements. Yeah, Ethereum validating is very expensive. Institutional adoption is rising. The Octane upgrade in 2025 led to a 493% quarter-over-quarter spike in daily transactions, with transaction fees dropping 42.7%, so almost 50%. High-value institution I don't even know if we really care about that, but Skybridge, $300 million in funds. All right. And we're going to stop there for a minute. We're going to hop over to Avalanche because we want to talk about what is Avalanche, right? $9.8 billion in its market cap, number 22 by market cap. And its max supply is 720 million tokens. 422.2 million of those are in circulation. And let's go down to, not the ecosystems, that's where we already are. Let's go to their actual website and take a look. Now, we did go over this a little bit yesterday, kind of what sparked the want to do the deep dive today, and that's how deep diving and research goes. You know, you do some and then it makes you want to do more. So Avalanche powers a global community of builders creating a real use case for real impact. Lightning fast, scalable by design, natively interconnected, all coming together to form one unified ecosystem. So right here you see a lot of meme-ish, almost game-ish looking stuff. And Avalanche really wants to be the center of GameFi in crypto. They've said that many times. Why Avalanche? Great question. Fast, powerful, secure. The groundbreaking Avalanche consensus powers a network of fast, efficient, highly optimized chains that finalize transaction almost instantly, accompanied by the best-in-class developer experience and suite of tools. Avalanche is the platform of choice for builders and users ready for what's next in Web3. Infinitely scalable by design. Of course, that's super important. Customizable layer ones. Everybody can, I guess, get their own layer one and customize it. Smooth to maintain and quicker to bring to market. And then, of course, a global community. Avalanche is more than just a blockchain. It's a global community of builders, creators, and collaborators. So you could set up a wallet. Of course, that is something you got to have. If you are dealing in an ecosystem, you need a wallet that can work with it. If you understand, Web3, MetaMask is usually most people's first wallet. The Avalanche token, you will need to operate inside of the ecosystem, and then you can explore the ecosystem once you have a wallet and some token for transaction fees and for swapping into other coins. If you're going to be doing, like, say you were going to play a game on Avalanche, you would want some Avalanche, so you can go to a decentralized exchange, then you could swap. Like PancakeSwap is to Binance Smart Chain, Uniswap to Ethereum. They all have them. And then you could get some of the coin of whatever DApp, decentralized application, you want to use. What's up, everybody? Hit that subscribe button. Throw something down in the comments. Let me know you're here. Appreciate you being with us. We are deep diving Avalanche's ecosystem, starting with Avalanche. Build on the network. So this is going to be very much for designers. They have an academy, basic, get started, builder kit, and then some documentation, integration tools. That's very much for your more techie developers and stuff. Codebase by Avalanche is home to Avalanche builder support. So again, I don't want to spend too much time on just developer stuff because most developers, if they like this stuff, they already know about it. Avalanche Foundation grants, fueling builders in the Avalanche ecosystem to create powerful tools, application, and infrastructure. And then so they have some different tools here for you. And that's pretty much bottom of the website. Let's see what we got around some news, right? So what's some news for Avalanche here? This is August 28th. From Codebase to Capital, Suzuki raises $1.5 million to scale Avalanche Layer 1 decentralization. Really want to see more of these. Where tradition meets innovation, Avalanche growing influence in Japan. That's cool. See if I can. All right, we really messed it up. Trying to scale back so I can read this. Avalanche Foundation announces second something retro 9000. Of course, it cuts off the web page. We won't spend too much time on news, but at least I like to see that there's some relevant news articles that are more recent, right? Not 3 months ago. All right, and then with no further delay, let's actually look at some of the things within the actual ecosystem. So Uniswap. All right, are we on the right thing? Yeah, we are. Okay, they throw Uniswap in there. I'm not really sure why Uniswap would be on Avalanche. Yeah, Uniswap is pretty much got a contract everywhere, it looks like. It's pretty cool. That's like the epitome of interoperability, being able to work with all the different blockchains. It's a must-have. So Aave, of course, is very much its own thing. But it's on probably many different ones. Yeah, looks just like Uniswap. It's on many different blockchains. But they incorporate it here as well. It's got 4.7 billion in its market cap, number 39 by market cap in all of crypto, so it is not a small project. Let's go look at Aave's website. So you got its core assets, core instance, wrapped ETH. It looks like a lot of wrap stuff. This looks very fun, foundational. They got a bridge, they got a swap. This might be a good choice if you're trying to move, say, from Ethereum to Avalanche to do something, or vice versa, trying to go back. So you got BlackRock USD Institutional Digital Liquidity Fund, also known as BIDL. And that has $2.3 billion in it. They must hold some Avalanche. That's the only reason why I think that they would be here. So SPX 6900. This is one that came out a while ago, but has done really well. Let's go to the max chart, see how long it's been out. So you got, August 23rd, 2023. So yeah, a little longer than even I thought so. And if you just look at the year, though, you can see where we really came from like a penny all the way up to, well, its first little spike, it ran up to like $1.56. So from a penny to $1.56, then it pulled back again down to like 32 cents, and then it ran up to $2.14. Is that what that said? Yeah, basically $2. And now we're sitting at $1. What is it going to do next? Also, what is it? Do you know what SPX 6900 is? Website looks a little chaotic. Not a fan of that. Should put a little more effort into the website, in my opinion. Thousands are waking up to the reality that 6900 is more than 500. Okay. I really don't want to read all this super tiny text. When building a website that people are going to come to and read to know what you are, I highly recommend making your text a lot larger. So skip. I'm going to skip that one for right now. One, because I do kind of know already about the project, and I don't think it's anything we really need to go over. So the graph, of course, the graph is kind of one that's a sleeper in my opinion, has a lot to do with AI on the back end of things. It's got $908 million in its market cap, 123 by market cap. All right. Not sure what went wrong there, but we fixed it. Let's make sure our audio is still good. Audio is still good. Cool. So the graph, we will go to their website real quick. Always got to make sure the audio is still working. So look at this. Big, bold letters, easy to read, engaging, straight to the point, fast, easy access to blockchain data. The graph organizes and serves Web3 data. Now you can go right down to the categories here, and it'll say artificial intelligence. And if you click here, it has 9 more. So it's also DePIN analyticals. Does it consider itself an oracle? No, it doesn't. Proof of stake. And then it'll say made in US, and if it's in any indexes and stuff, Coinbase 50 index, stuff like that will be in there. Back to the website. So they're very much about data, putting data together. Think of a graph. They're literally called the graph. Build faster, 100% less servers. Create groundbreaking applications without needing to run your own data servers. Build index infrastructure or parse through raw data. Spend less, 60 to 98% less per month. Cut down the cost and time spent running expensive infrastructure by tapping into the graph's competitive data market. And increase resilience, 99.9% uptime, ensuring your applications uptime and keep its data flowing 24/7. So, uptime means it's on all the time, right? 99.9% of the time. So this is probably something that doesn't get retail super excited, but you're going to need something like this if you are building something in crypto. Industry standards, data access, and a lot of this I think holds hands well with AI. Subgraphs, substreams, token API. I wouldn't doubt if they're using AI in their protocol and on the back end. Web3 powered by Graph. Tens of thousands of developers rely on Graph to create best-in-class user experience. Explore a rich ecosystem of community-created subgraphs or build your own with the Graph. So you can build your own graphs. You can really customize it for what you need, it seems like. It's pretty cool. So 90 plus supported networks, and then how to use it. It's a little techie, I'm sure, probably not something retail is real interested in. Globally distributed decentralized infrastructure. What makes the graph so resilient? Enter the Graph Network, a decentralized data market powered by distributed participants, index curators, delegators, and subgraph developers. And they have a map. The map is super dark. They should make this map a little bit brighter. I don't know why everybody wants to make everything gray on black and black on black. Nobody can see that, guys. Join the ecosystem, transform the internet. So we really covered, I think, what Graph is about, right? Because we're really just trying to categorize and niche out the different projects in an ecosystem that when you're rather deciding to build a portfolio, speculate, none of this is financial advice, you can at least understand what you are putting your money into. How many things do you hold in your portfolio? You know, you should go look at your portfolio and ask yourself, do I even know what these things do, or have people just told me that they're great, so I bought them? And maybe they've done really well for you, but I think it's smart as somebody who puts money in things, a speculator, investor, whatever you want to call it, to know what you're investing in. And that's kind of what we're trying to do here, is raise the IQ of your average person in crypto, whatever they're doing. So let's see if we have any other cool projects here. We got more stable coin, BinQI, liquid stake. Doesn't sound very entertaining. We got Beam. Beam is an interesting project. It's sitting at number 218 by market cap, 369.7 million in its market cap. But you're probably wondering, what is it? Let's go down to categories. It's a smart contract platform, making it a layer 1. GameFi, of course, with a name like Beam, it's GameFi. Binance Launch Pool. So there's some niche and some clues here. Should be clicking for you. DWF Lab portfolio and governance. And it's an Avalanche L1. So how Avalanche was talking about it's easy to make layer 1s on Avalanche. Now we come to Beam. And it's on Avalanche, Binance Smart Chain, and Ethereum. Let's go check out their website. All right, Beam is for gamers, so Beam is for traders. So it's going to be like Beam is for everyone, right? Beam is for developers. I've watched so many of these, I could predict it. Beam is for founders. Yeah, it's for everybody. With everything from games to AI to consumer apps to compute, Beam is a chain that great projects call home. Okay, why'd they make that sound so complicated? Together we build, invest, and accelerate frontier technologies. Beam is on a mission to build the future for gamers, users, organizations around the world, from DeFi to data compute to dApps of every kind. Our global community is working together to push blockchain forward beyond the frontier. Shout out to anybody who's here. Drop a comment. Let us know you're here. Let me know if there's anything you would like me to go over for you. As far as just researching and looking at it, I'm not telling you what to do with your money. Beam means exposure to the future. So you got AI, finance, trading, RWA. I mean, they are coming for every category. Can they do it? Can they be premier? Can they be the one to stand out amongst many people like RWA? How are they going to be Ondo, right? That's what we really want to know. With 6 dedicated divisions, we are spearheading new frontiers in gaming, AI, investing, and more, all the things that they just said. An industry-leading crypto-native treasury. Our strong war chest supports a healthy developer and user community and lets Beam ecosystem seize opportunities for growth and innovation. It says $175.8 million. I assume that is for growth and innovation. Join the 250,000 holders betting on the future with Beam. Beam was really popular for a while. There was a lot of people who believed Beam was going to do really well. I think being built on Avalanche, even though it's on some other chains, is going to play a big role. Is Avalanche going to hang out in some of that, upper echelons of the crypto world? Or is it going to fall? Is it not doing enough? I don't really hear a lot of news around Avalanche. So I hope they're still building. This is the bull market where, positive news for different layer 1s should be constant. Gas token, buy and burn, validators, governance, everything you would expect. Over 1+ million earned in rewards by validators and stakers last month. So they gave out $1 million in rewards. And then, of course, as we talk about Avalanche's ecosystem, every project we get into has its own ecosystem, right? So we have Social Deduction, Castle of Blackwater, Forgotten Playland, Social, Trial Extreme Racing, probably a game I would imagine. Then we got Dami Online, an MMORPG. We got a card game called Crysdale, Rumble Arcade, Pixelmon, and Drimikia. So there are a lot of games. Most of those seemed like games. Some of them said social and social deduction. That's really interesting. We could always kind of deep dive even more into ecosystems. And as we go on, right now, we started doing this about 3 weeks ago. I don't have any intentions of quitting anytime soon. We're going to keep deep diving and researching as a community. There is a Discord link in the description, so you could hop over there, continue the conversation, talk to me if you'd like to, talk to some people in the community. We are building it, so it is up and coming. You know, there's not a ton of people there yet, but we got a few people that care, that are up over on the Discord, and we can share information with each other, and I think that's going to build a strong ecosystem of our own moving forward, right? And what my point was that, like, as we go forward and we covered most of the big categories, we're going to start to deep dive things like this, where we'll spend a bunch of time just on Beam's ecosystem, right? Because there's always more stuff to look at. But with that being said, that'll be for another day, another show. Right now, we are going to stick a little bit more to the Avalanche ecosystem and not deep into each specific ecosystem within Avalanche. So you got Superverse. Superverse I have heard of before. Pretty sure I've been over before. It's at 57 cents, and it has $353 million in its market cap, number 223 by market cap, so not the smallest project. We go to its max chart. We can see how long it's kind of been on CoinGecko at least, which is 2021. Yeah, February 21st, 2021, coming out at about $1.58. It is down 63% on the max. Looks like its all-time high was $4.22, but that was quite some time ago. So what is it doing now? What even is it? Let's go down. GameFi. So I think you're going to see the same reoccurring thing of GameFi over and over with Avalanche ecosystem, because that is very much one of the niches that they want to be the biggest in crypto, right? NFTs, collectibles, Animica, brands, gaming, blockchain, made in US. All right, all different categories there for us to keep in mind. Let's go to Superverse. And most importantly, what is Superverse? So it says Gaming United. We already knew it was GameFi. So connects the biggest Web3 community to the best crypto games. That's what we want. Not just the best games, but play to earn games where we could actually potentially earn or own our assets within the game. Have a marketplace where we can sell them. Love that kind of thing. If you've ever been a gamer, I've never been a huge gamer, but I've definitely played many video games. I love the idea of it not being a waste of time and me being able to make some money, even if it's just a couple of dollars a day. Superverse is an authentic and irreplicable Web3 network for high passionate partners and players. We have built-in reach for any title to be successful. So innovation, Superverse is pioneering the next generation of liquidity protocols for Web3 gaming and beyond. Superverse first liquidity protocol, Black Hole, is a next generation decentralized exchange fusing the best of DeFi with cutting edge features while using a portion of fees to buy back Super. So the reason why I kind of hesitate is because we've gone over Black Hole. Black Hole is a liquidity provider for the Avalanche ecosystem. Its charts didn't look really well. Its overall history didn't really look very good. So I'm not really sure if Black Hole is ever really going to do much of anything. but I hope that it does just for the sake of the ecosystem. Super is being integrated into industry-leading Web3 games. These games get plugged into the strongest communities in crypto gaming, bringing them new players while Super gains utility. This enables projects to seamlessly share users and liquidity, reducing fragmentation while increasing the industry's chance of mainstream success, right? So they're kind of like a middleman trying to get games to come onto the platform, to come partner with them. They'll try to bring people to the games, and as the games get big, Superverse gets, notoriety, and therefore, more investors. Price goes up. All the best games, one token. So latest integrations, you got Hash AI, Elder Glade, Daemons, Messier, and UFO Gaming. So join the Superverse, apply today, and then you're kind of at the bottom of their website. So let's go to integrations. I was like, don't just show me exactly what it already showed me. So in a way it is, but let's see if they got more for us. So UFO Gaming is where it left off. Sleep, Pagochi, Arena, Memes at War, Medieval Empire. So the real question is, how good are these games? That would be worth doing a deep dive on. But not today. That'll have to be for another day. If GameFi is something that you want to see more on this channel, go ahead and throw that down in the chat. And let's go back to our list by market cap, see what other cool stuff we can find. So, of course, more stable coins. You got 1inch. 1inch is one that's been around for a really long time, I'm pretty sure. 2020. Thought it was older than that, but that's still pretty far back in crypto. $339.3 million in its market cap. Its categories are decentralized exchange, automated market maker, FTX holding. I don't know if that's really one to brag about. It's in a bunch of different portfolios, DEX aggregator, blockchain capital portfolio. Okay, and governance. So nothing that seems all that exciting. One-stop access to decentralized finance. Let's go look at its contract address. Okay, so this thing is on a bunch of different platforms. They're throwing it in Avalanche, but it's not really like an Avalanche native project. It just works interoperatively with Avalanche, which is good. One-step access to decentralized finance. They do have an app. Having an app nowadays on the App Store is definitely a big plus. Optimize your trades across hundreds of DEXs on multiple networks. 1inch products, 1inch cross-chain swap. And they got a wallet. You can build a portfolio. They have cards. Oh, they have an actual like credit card, debit card kind of thing. Build your own Web3 solutions if you're a developer. Secure compliance in DeFi. So very interesting, very much in the financial realm of things, very much interoperable and, working with other blockchains. So not the most exciting thing as far as talking about Avalanche ecosystem, right? So this is another one. It's on pretty much everything. AXL. We've gone over it before. Got basic attention token. I really wanted to get down to more of the more, Avalanche native stuff. So we're just kind of skipping through a lot of these things. I know what they are. Sushi. Osaka Protocol. It's on Ethereum. It's on a bunch of different places. So it seems like a lot of things that are on Avalanche, at least the big players, of course, are in a lot of other places. Mythos. That was one that we looked at earlier. Spell. I remember the spell token being really big. It's on Avalanche, Phantom, and Arbitrum, so not that many different chains. Abracadabra money. All right, they don't like my location. I don't even remember if I have a VPN on, if I should or shouldn't have it on. So here's Joe. Here, what did it take us to? Because this looks different. Okay, we're just farther down. Because I remember Joe being referenced. I've definitely heard of Joe on Avalanche. Pretty sure it is a decentralized exchange. Yep, decentralized exchange. on Avalanche, Arbitrum, Mantle, Binance Smart Chain, $60.2 million in its market cap, all the way down at 706 by market cap listing. And let's go look at their website. Yeah, no, doesn't like their website at all. Their website's really strange. It's just what, ifj.gg is the website. It's really weird, kind of sketch. I don't know if this is the same Joe that they were talking about, but it should be because it's a decentralized exchange. Let's take a look at how many people we have rolling through the stream. Pretty slow today. I had a feeling that it was going to be slow given the fact that the market is down. It's like 3:30 on a Friday. Most people are probably still at work. Let's see. Hang on. Let's see. I'm just looking for cool stuff. All right. So here's Black Hole. We've gone over it before. I've already mentioned that if you look at its max chart, it's pretty dreary. Came out July 16, 2025. So it hasn't really been around that long. If you believe in the project, it's at lows. It's lower than it came out, right? So it's down 51% over all time. So it could be a great investment. It depends on how much you believe in Avalanche. Obviously, I'm not going to tell you what to do with your money. I'll tell you that I did not buy any, even though I've been looking at it for a minute, just because the chart really looks like it's getting no love from speculators, from retail, from investors, however you want to think about that. But they do say they're essential trading and liquidity hub on Avalanche. A lot of times these are the type of projects in an ecosystem that I personally do like to buy. Look at DeepBook on SWI. There you go. Aerodrome on Base Blockchain. You know, is this kind of the equivalent? Well, it might have the vision to do that, but it doesn't look like it's going very well. Also is still very new, so that makes it a little bit hard to judge. Black Hole is a groundbreaking decentralized exchange designed to serve as the unified liquidity hub for all blockchain projects on Avalanche. And that's what I first read that made me go, okay, maybe we have something here, but it doesn't seem to be panning out. We are proud to be integral part of a robust and widely supported superverse ecosystem. Black Hole aims to solve the growing fragmentation issue plaguing the industry with countless roll-ups and layer 2 solutions, creating an overwhelming amount of options. So you can launch the Black Hole app, and it takes you right to what looks like a swap. You know, you're swapping AVAX for USDC, or you can make it vice versa. You can click on it. You can change it to different things within the ecosystem. And that is basically how you get in and out of tokens in an ecosystem. Just for anybody who's never done that before. And let's back up. So I kind of just launched the app and got out of it. So the token utility, you know, the Black token, Black is the token, serves as a dual purpose in its ecosystem. Firstly, it functions as governance token, allowing token holders to participate in decisions-making processes and shape the future of the platform. Additionally, the Black token is utilized as an incentive token for high-value projects that have integrated with the Black Hole protocol and are providing liquidity, as well as community users who also contribute to the liquidity pools. It says it was dual function. Was that two things, or was that just one thing? In a manner akin to Curve, Black token holders can exercise their voting rights to determine where incentives are allocated, therefore fostering a community-driven approach to project development and fostering collaboration among stakeholders. So I guess that's the other idea. It says it was twofold. If you're just hopping in, hit that subscribe button, like, share, drop a comment, let us know you're here. We're all on a different time frame today. Usually we're 8:30 p.m., but I got something to do later today. Didn't want to miss the stream. Benefits to the project, right? So we do want to know, what are the benefits to the project? What are they thinking they're going to build? Is there a roadmap? That's what I want to know. So ability to provide just one side of the liquidity results in lower capital requirements, directly reward its community users with dual tokens rewards for supporting their project by providing the other side of liquidity pairs, ensuring a fair token distribution, earn rewards for providing tokens to the liquidity pool. Sounds a lot just like basic farming to me. benefit to community users, voters, and incentives, governance, basically what you're talking about there. Let's go check out their bridge. So you can bridge from Avalanche mainnet to Ethereum mainnet and back and forth. Doesn't look like it's letting me change it to other mainnets. Those are tokens listed, but what are other mainnets? Okay, so they also have Base, Ethereum, Sonic, and BNB Smart Chain. Escape velocity. What the heck does that mean? Is a rebate program. Okay. Accelerate decentralized ownership of DEX. Make locking more attractive and rewarding. Okay. That's very interesting. Of course, I do hope that this thing figures out how to, pick itself up off the ground and continue here. Again, the max chart was only July 16th, 2025. So very new. In my opinion, it could be something, it could be nothing. A lot of times projects don't do that great in their first, couple of months. That's why a lot of people rather choose to launch their projects in the bear market for the hype, even though I feel like the hype has been a little lackluster this bull run. Or they launch in the bear market and build, give themselves time to build so that by the time the bear market rolls around, they're built up a little bit and have something to show to get people excited to invest in. All right. So infinite max supply here on Snowbank, which I don't know anything about, 971 by market cap. That max chart is something else. How far back are we talking here? 2021. So, wow. With a chart like that, I don't even know if I should be talking about this project. Crypto backed token, rebase. I don't even see a website. Yeah, we're going to get out of that one. Of course, there's always going to be many failed projects in an ecosystem. So Pangolin, I know, is a decentralized exchange. All right, double check that before I say I know and then I'm wrong. So here we are at another decentralized exchange. So if you have your wallet and you're ready to go, this would be somewhere to come. Pangolin Liquidity Hub, very much what Black Hole was talking about, except for Pangolin has been around for quite some time, 2021. And it's a real shame when we talk about Avalanche to look at its ecosystem and see all of the charts look like this. As it really just tells me that Avalanche as an ecosystem and as a project is really just not getting a lot of love within its ecosystem. Or I guess you could say not a lot of usability, right? Because this is a decentralized exchange. If people were using it a lot, you would think its chart would look a lot better. So it does have $30.4 million in its market cap, but that doesn't really say much. There's many meme coins that have more money than that in their market cap. It is on Avalanche and doesn't seem to be anywhere else. It says backed by world-class partners, Thorchain, XLR, Flare, Squid, Coinbase, Avalanche. So they're backed by Coinbase. If they are, man, you would think that they would get a little bit more attention than what they're getting right now. And I'm sure if you're in the Avalanche ecosystem all the time, you are using Pangolin. I've never used it. But if we launch, come over here, basically you got a swap. They got a V3 pool where you could get into, maybe doing some staking, some farming, I guess you would call it. APR. I'm just looking at the APRs here. I mean, some of them look pretty good, 203% with bonus rewards. There are so many of these, though. It's really hard to know which one to get into, and what they are today when you get into them might not be what they are later on down the line when you want to get out of them, So you might be making tons of coins, but those coins go way down in value against what you put in, and now you might not be making money, you might be losing money. So that's Pangolin. I think my favorite project we've looked at so far is probably Beam. Black Hole is like one that I want it to be something because it's so far down and it's new and it's about liquidity and I want it to rise up. But the whole ecosystem has to kind of have something going on in order to do that. Honestly, a little bit of what I was afraid of doing this deep dive was that the Avalanche ecosystem would be kind of dismal and that there wasn't a lot of activity and a lot of excitement within the ecosystem. And that seems to be panning out. That seems to be playing out. So the max chart here says March 31st, 2025. So not too long ago. Project called Guns. Do think I remember when this came out. It's on Solana and Avalanche. So they're on Solana. Solana's where all the hype and all the activity's at. So why did they decide that they want to be on Avalanche? Were they on Avalanche first and then they decided to go over to Solana? Because of that, the fact that that's where all the ecosystem excitement is right now. And Base Blockchain, you can't leave them out of the conversation. Guns is now live on OpenSea. Play for fun, play to own. What is Guns? In the current free-to-play game, you don't truly own... Okay, so in current free-to-play games, right, you don't truly own items you purchase or loot. If you're accidentally banned or you simply stop playing, all the items lose its value. So Gun is here to reinvent the system. This is something I talk a lot about in GameFi. You can now own and trade your items if you want to. So that's pretty cool. I do like that. I'm sure they're all NFTs. So Guns is the first ever platform in a AAA game that gives you the option to turn your items into tradable NFTs inside the game's marketplace or elsewhere. Chaos is here, it says, off the grid. So what's the AAA game that they're referring to? So dive into a new extraction royal where PvP and PvE collide in brutal cyberpunk worlds. Switch cyber limbs, master weapons, extract a powerful arsenal to fight for domination. Jump now and shape the future of a teardrop island. So where's the game? I want to see the game. That's What is Guns. So is this a trailer for the game? Of course, a trailer for a game is probably going to be pretty lit. But is the game actually lit? We'll just take a quick peek at this. Was it Gunzilla or Gonzilla? So a Battle Royale style game. Alright, they're going for very realistic graphics versus like cartoony like Fortnite. So gunbyguns.com. Trailer's pretty cool. So everybody's a cyborg in it? That's weird. Yeah, this just got real strange, but I could see people who love Call of Duty liking something like this. All right, so that gave us an idea. It's a battle royale style game and things, but where's the actual game itself, right? Where do I go download this game? You can buy NFTs on OpenSea. Is this game actually live? Let's go to their Twitter. Just watching it play on my phone that I have open. It looks really glitchy. Like the computer can't keep up. That sucks. Because the trailer there was actually pretty interesting. So 159.8 thousand followers. It says Gun, the first MeCart compliant gaming digital asset. Zeros, we have mega news. You think they would just be like, the game is right here. Go to the game. Download the game. Go ahead and give them a follow. All right, well, this is one I'm obviously going to have to do a little bit more deep diving and research into. I have not found it, but I'm going to go ahead and hop off. Appreciate everybody being here again. This was a different time. It was cool to try out maybe a different time for the stream. Don't think I'll be choosing 3 o'clock, but I had some things to do later and I didn't want to skip the live stream. Get in that Discord, say something, say what's up. We'd love to get to know you and figure out what you're into in crypto. Share what you know. We'll share what we know, and we'll continue to build a community. So yeah, stay DeFi, stay crypto, and stay underground. Have a great night, day. So used to saying night because it's usually a night stream.